If you look up what the name Astrid means, it says divinely beautiful. Astrid Balink is the epitome of divinely beautiful. When trying to decide a quote that Astrid embodies, Amal said, "When life gives Astrid lemons, she wouldn't make lemonade. She would just eat them raw." This couldn't be a truer statement. Astrid Balink is the girl that will stick up for what is right without fear. For example, Astrid once called Einstein's bagel because she was upset that they didn't put cream cheese on her bagel, further wanting a refund only to realize that the cream cheese was crammed in at the bottom of the bag. Astrid is not only a powerful force in the courtroom, but also life in general. Astrid is that cool senior that does indeed have a tattoo. Astrid is the only person that I know that optimizes her time so well that she's 4 weeks ahead on every single assignment. No joke. Astrid is the girl that will buy you a dozen donuts and get a customized t-shirt made just for you just because. She is reliable, and if you're privileged enough to have her in your life, she will always be a constant. I'm so lucky to have Astrid by my side because I genuinely don't think I could become half the person I am today without her support. Astrid, I love you so much, and I, as well as everyone else, cannot wait to hear the words that you will share today. I now present to you Astrid Brinker Lawrence Balink.
I have been pining and pining over the idea of how do I make everyone in this chapel remember what I've said? The truth is, I don't even remember 98% of the senior speeches I've ever heard, so I will try and give you something to take away, but if you don't, I will honestly never know. During the Senior Secret Santa, my dear friend and dearest Secret Santa, Amal Panjwani, wrote this to me. I'm a firm believer in the idea that people are an image of all of their experiences, small bits and pieces of special moments and interactions they have had. That being said, each person an individual meets has a large impact on who that individual becomes. Now, I never told her this, but these 2 short sentences from Amal have been stuck in my mind since the moment I read them. All throughout my life, I have been trying to perfect the individual self. Now, being perfect to me means taking all those small bits and pieces of other people and characterizing them as my own. Each perfect trait I find in another becomes a perfect trait in myself. I saw this as getting closer to attaining my goal. Complete perfection. My brother is charismatic, especially in social situations, so I attempt to cling to his side at all times in the hopes of appearing as nonchalant as he does. My father is the funniest man anyone will ever meet, so I work on making jokes that are as well-timed as his. He is also always right, and I swear I too thought this was impossible. So, I take notes and aim to be more appropriately correct, just as he seems to be. My traits also come from my friends. Eleanor, so perfectly observant. Shreya, so perfectly comforting. Amal, so perfectly insightful. Even strangers have influenced my personality as a whole. But my mother is practically perfect in every way. She is truly kind, truly loving, truly creative and smart, and she is the perfect individual I've tried to be, no matter how much I'll deny it, and I will after this moment. However, I was losing myself while taking on all of these traits that felt so unnatural to me. There was a part of my perfect self, no matter how small I perceived it to be, that I was losing in this collage of people I'd met. And then I heard a quote that stopped me in my tracks. In Dr. Brown's French 4 class, my favorite thing is that we get around to a lot of topics. One day, she got around to this quote. The author, Najwa Zebian, said, "The mountains you are carrying, you were only supposed to climb." I'm sure most of the students forgot about it, but it stuck in my head. When I first heard it, I couldn't tell why it meant so much to me and why I haven't forgotten it. I finally realized that, of course, it means a lot to me because of how much I relate to it. In my life, I've carried so many mountains. These mountains that weigh on my breaking back are full of stress, anxiety, perfection. These mountains that weigh on me compress my body to an unnatural state that continues to put my brain in emotional turmoil. And I finally realized that I can drop these mountains with one simple task. I can stop trying to be the perfect person I see in every aspect of my life. As I've recently taken on this task, I realized that being myself, in every flawed way, has made me just as perfect as I've always aimed to be. Sometimes, all we need to do is drop the weight of 10 mountains onto the floor and let it crumble with their weight instead of letting it break our backs. We need to stop being like everyone else. There is no perfect self to attain. And, after we are finally ready, we can climb each mountain to its peak. And the wonderful thing about mountains is that they keep getting taller. We get to climb each mountain as long as we let ourselves drop them. I hope that you can see that this image of all of my experiences, as Amal so cleverly wrote, is not perfect in any way. No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. However, each person I've met has had a large impact on who I have become. No matter how big or small an encounter with someone has been, I know that all the people in my life have made me who I am. And at this moment, I am so completely myself, and man, does it feel good. Mom, I speak to your perfect self right now. I look so much up to the things you do as you seemingly carry mountains weightlessly. Though that little glimpse of me shows how low I am on your perfect par, I did try my best on this speech. I love to write because of you, just as I love so many things. I leave everyone with this. In her letter, Amal lastly wrote, "You are also super, super, super silly." So if that is what you all take away from this speech, I will consider it a win. Thank you.